Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be teaching you how to make a budget that actually works. This is a simple, streamlined, bare bones, basic budget that literally anybody can do. Like, I'm serious. If you have a notebook, a pen, a basic calculator, or even if you don't have calculator but you want to use your fingers and count, that works. Okay, so this is something that if you have teenagers or school age kids and they know how to write and add, they can do this. This is how simple it is. You don't need any fancy apps. I'm not going to ask you to download any fancy apps in order to get this done. All you need is some basic information and a notebook and a pen in order to do this. All right, so I'm going to teach you in 3 simple steps how to make a budget that actually works for beginners. All right, so but before I start talking to you about a budget and what you need in order to get started, I do have all that organized for you. I do want to just define what a budget is. So a budget is nothing more than a spending plan. And a spending plan allows you to direct where your money is going to go before you get it. That's it. It's a roadmap for your money. I know sometimes we hear the word budget and we think about restrictions, or we think about not being able to afford certain things, but it is the opposite. A budget allows you to afford things based on how you prioritize them. Okay, so now that we know what a budget is, I want to tell you what we're going to do today, which is a simple budget. And a simple budget is one that only focuses on one single area of expenses. So we're not going to look at all of your expenses today. We're only going to focus on one area. And the area that we're looking at today is your housing. What does it cost you to live inside of your home? Whether you rent, whether you own, if you're a college student or still a student and you're living at home with a parent or a guardian, that's okay. We're just looking at what it costs you every single month in order to do that. Okay. So again, how to make a budget that actually works. 3 simple steps for beginners. So we talked about what a budget is. Wonderful. Now you're going to hear me float back and forth between simple budget and operational budget. Don't worry, it is the same thing. Whatever term works best for you. I don't want to stress you out, right? If you want to call it a simple budget, call it that. If you want to call it an operational budget, I'm with you. I'm with you with that as well. So this simple budget, again, is only looking at the operation of your household, what it costs you to live. So we're talking housing related expenses. I'm talking about mortgage, rent, T&I, which is taxes and insurance, HOA, homeowners association dues. If you live in maybe a tiny house and you have land fees, I do realize that sometimes those things are paid annually or twice a year. Sometimes you pay per quarter, 4 times a year. That's okay. We just want to look at the average, and we're going to divide that total number out over 12 months in the next step. So don't worry. All right. The next thing we're going to be looking at are utilities. So things like water, power, gas, sewer, phone, internet, home security systems, right? All of these things are a part of how you operate your home, so we have to take account for them. Also, groceries. Now, this does not include eating out, okay? So we're just talking about simple produce, basic food items that you kind of stock your pantry or your fridge with. If you're a parent, you've got kids, the struggle is real. Okay, we're in the summer and snacks are on deck. We got, juice boxes and water bottles to stay filled. So if you are a parent and you are trying to survive the grocery budget this summer, I'm praying for you. I'm with you. Okay. All right. So now we know exactly what we're doing. We know the type of budget that we're doing. So now I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to get started. And it's so simple. First thing you want to do, first and foremost, is have an idea in your mind what your regular monthly income is. Now, I don't want you to include income that you may get in the future. Like if you got some seeds in the ground, you know what I'm saying? Some things that should start to pay off, don't count that income just yet. For now, I just want you to count what's predictable and what's reoccurring every single month, like clockwork. So write that number down in your notebook on a clean sheet of paper. We're going to need that number. Next up, I want you to calculate the exact cost of your mortgage, your rent. And remember, we're looking at averages, right? Because I know when we talk about utility costs, heating and cooling, those things are going to fluctuate throughout the year. So depending on the type of environment you live in, if it gets really, really cold in the winter and really, really hot in the summer, we're going to see some large changes in those bills, and that's okay. We just want to look at the averages. And again, don't forget internet and phone. We are going to include that in this simple budget. And then if you've got your notebook and a pen, you are more than ready to go. So just a quick reminder that a simple budget is the same thing as an operations budget. And again, guys, we're just looking at the basics. Your housing related costs, rent, mortgage, taxes and insurance, utilities, groceries. All right. So if you are ready, if you've got all your tools and you're ready to start, we're going to jump in. And it's 3 simple steps how to make a budget that actually works. All right. Step 1 to making a budget is to start out by listing all of your simple costs. Now, this is going to be different because some of us may have a mortgage, some of us may not. Some of us do not have a housing expense at all. Praise God for those of you who don't have a housing expense because, well, yeah, because I'm assuming someone else is covering it for you. But if that is the case, if any of these expenses don't fit, don't worry about it. You leave it off. But in this example, I've included mortgage, and then I also included a line for mortgage slash life insurance. This is important. If you have mortgage, life insurance, specifically an insurance policy that will pay off a mortgage debt in the event of permanent illness or loss of life, this is something that you do want to include because it is important to your household, right? Because if God forbid something happens, those that we love our loved ones and those that we care for, we want to make sure that they're well taken care of. So you do want to include that in this line item. And then, of course, everything that we've been talking about, your electric, natural gas, phone, internet, home security, and just an idea of your groceries. We don't want to overthink it. We don't want to overcomplicate it. But be as honest as you can when you make this list. Don't spend too much time either because again, we only want to look at the things that are going to that allow us to live inside of our home. So we really want to pare down everything else. We're not going to include clothing in this expense or this budget. We're only looking at the items that we absolutely need in order to live inside of our housing situations. All right, step 2 to how to make a simple budget that actually works is now that you've got everything listed out, now you're going to go in and fill out each line item. Now, this is easy if you use online banking sites. You can just simply log into your online banking account, and all of that data is actually sorted and organized for you. So all you need to do is pull it. If you're using something like Cash App to pay bills, same situation. You can just go into the Cash app and you can search, for your electric company, your natural gas company, your rent, all of that information will be there. So if you're using electronics to pay bills, all of that data is there. If not, you may have to go back and pull some receipts or look for, I don't think people are still using money orders for some of this stuff, but if you are, you should have a copy of those receipts and you should be able to pull those and go in and fill out these numbers. Again, we just want averages. We don't want to overcomplicate it. All right. So that is step 2 on how to make a budget that actually works. Now we're coming in home stretch. Step 3 to how to make a budget that actually works. Final step. All you're going to do is go through each one of these line items, add everything up. Okay. So total up all of your costs. And then you'll notice at the bottom of my page, I put monthly income at the bottom. So once you figure out all of your total costs, you're going to subtract that from your monthly income, and there you have it. 3 simple steps on how to make a simple budget that actually works for beginners. No budgeting apps needed, just a simple notebook and a pen. I hope that this video helps you to understand how to budget, and if you are ready to change your mindset and break free from the just being stuck financially and living paycheck to paycheck, then I want you to grab a copy of my new book, Broke to Bankroll. The link is in the bio. Thank you for watching. See you next time.